Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we have another one of those just articles that pop on out every few weeks, every few months, of just kind of going on that super hardcore one side, super hardcore on the other. But sometimes all these really big like hardcore critiques and criticisms actually kind of make a lot of sense. So we actually have an article over here from VG274 that is basically going insane on how awful the Xbox is, how the momentum is basically kind of just falling off a cliff. And while at least the PlayStation 5 and Switch have a lot of big games on the way, a lot of things kind of coming, the Xbox is kind of a little bit on the dull side until at least maybe Starfield, maybe, if that somehow does not end up getting delayed. So we have a lot of things to go talk about, little things to kind of go dissect into. And as always, for these types of more of like the hardcore analytical type things, leave your thoughts and comments down below. As always, just be tasteful in the comments because I never want to have it be either or. And I've always been in the mindset of like, as long as gaming as a whole is doing good, I'm kind of vibing. So kind of give me your thoughts and comments down below as we kind of go through this actual article itself and kind of dissect, and I'll give you guys my own opinions and feedback on it. And as well, the usual, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for those brand new PlayStation 5 giveaways, Samsung SSDs down below. Go get them on sale before they have to go raise up in price. The Twitter and Twitch stream if you guys want to follow. The Amazon links for all the PS5 stuff and all that good stuff. And the Weeble and Coinbase. And let's go and dive into the actual video itself. So as I mentioned, we have like a kind of a cool little article over here from VG where it can kind of go either way. But I always kind of like these kind of heated sides on both sides because it kind of gives you an interesting topic to go and get to talk about. So for this, the Xbox is losing momentum as the PS5 and Switch start coming out swinging. So this all kind of regards more on the fact of like Sony actually has a lot of stuff throughout these next few weeks, and even we have some more stuff to be on the lookout for at the very end of the year too as well. Very nice to go and see this in regards to Horizon, Forspoken, a lot of other various PS5 games. And on top of that too, we also had like Sifu and a bunch of other games too. But on top of that as well, we have nothing basically planned up for the Xbox. There's basically nothing lined up, nothing in like the looks. And the last maybe thing is maybe a Starfield, which if you guys don't think that's going to get delayed, especially with everything else being delayed this past 2 years, then I have something to go and tell you guys. I kind of feel like that's going to be a 2023 release. So Xbox is apparently officially losing momentum as the PS5 and Switch are coming out swinging. With Sony rolling out the big guns and timed exclusives, Nintendo has a stellar first-party release schedule, and Xbox has Starfield in November. So first and foremost, I always want to say I definitely lean a little bit more on the PlayStation. I do like the exclusives. Xbox, I love the Game Pass. I'm kind of with everything. I got a PC, I got a PS5, I got a Switch. I'm kind of cool with games as long as they're fun. I'm not really a big fan of like, well, you have an Xbox, I'm never going to talk to you. You have a PS5, well, then you're my boy. I mean, you kind of might be, but you know what I mean? So basically when it comes to Xbox, ended 2021 on a real big high. And that was actually really kind of true. Flight Simulator up on Xbox, great, although it's been up on PC for a while. Psychonauts, great game, was actually like recommended for a lot of different awards. Forza, probably one of my favorite random closet games of the year. Halo Infinite, it was okay. Like, I didn't hate it, didn't love it. It was Halo, definitely more of Halo. And some people are kind of down with that. And it's all on the Game Pass day one. Fantastic stuff. Love to go and see it. Same thing with like Back 4 Blood and a lot of other cool various games playing out throughout the rest of this year. But the one big issue is exclusives, first-party games, and more games like Halo. And of course, Forza and Halo were launched as basically two of the best games of the year, which I would agree. They were both phenomenal. They had definitely had their own issues, don't get me wrong, but they were fun and enjoyable games, and they were fun to look forward to, and I really overall wasn't that disappointed. But it's a lot of big issues too as well, and I actually kind of somewhat agree with this, is that Xbox, we don't really have a lot of stuff to be looking forward to throughout the next few months, especially. So they do have two things. Redfall. Although this game, it looked very cool. It's from, Arcane Austin, was revealed back in June, and they gave us the very broad summer 2022 release window. But the thing is as well, I believe they also have officially delayed it. I think that might even just be rumors, internal rumors or whatever, but it does kind of seem like Redfall, which kind of gives us a little bit of like, kind of like a Saints Row, kind of Back 4 Blood type style game, at least from what we saw from the trailers. It looked cool. Like, the graphically looked sick. Gameplay looked cool. It almost seemed like a heisty type like game. It just seemed like it's like a Payday type game too as well. But the one struggle is that although that would be a cool game in the future, right now we have no official release dates. We have probably big delays, and if not, the delays have not been officially announced. As I mentioned, there's been a lot of internal rumors for it as well. And that's not even if it's going to even show up this year. Granted, I hope it does, don't get me wrong. But same thing too as well as Starfield, the game where basically no one knows anything about it besides those few little baby bits and pieces of trailers we've had a chance to see, and the fact that everyone, like Tom Howard himself, etc., are hyping that game up. And now, I think these are going to be awesome games when I have a chance to play them. But the one major struggle is I'm not sure if these companies are going to be able to fix it. We have not seen like pretty much any type of gameplay from Starfield. We've not seen major news. We've seen teasers and trailers, don't get me wrong. And all this kind of puts together is I hope that Xbox will have a proper big event. Because it is true. Like, at least for PlayStation, we know what to expect throughout the rest of the year. Next week, we have Horizon. And we probably hope that game's going to be pretty decent. We have Forspoken in a few months, which is at least going to be something to tie us on over. As well, we also have God of War, at least rumored in September of this year. But that comes also kind of in the same boat of like the Xbox and PlayStation, where we don't fully know exactly, which is assuming on that. So I could always be collectively wrong on that, don't get me wrong. But the one big struggle is that what are we looking forward to for the Xbox besides Game Pass? And I mean, I love Game Pass. I have it on auto renewal. I use it all the time, and there's a lot of good games on it. But once again, when it comes to Starfield, a lot of folks are saying it can kind of go either way. Now, some folks are thinking it's going to be such a huge hype game. There's no way they miss it. They've had so many years to work on it. But once again, we've been seeing that for pretty much every game. Think Cyberpunk, think any other various big game. We have been seeing delay after delay after delay. And this is like still like 9 months out. And I would say 9 months, although it is a long time, is not really that big of a time. And this is kind of one of a lot of things over here too as well. Is that these folks out there could be basically making these comments, be like, hey, you know, I hate Xbox and I'm a Sony phony and all that type of stuff. But I do think it's kind of a big thing. Like some good examples as well, even from this week from Xbox. Crossfire. It wasn't the world's worst game. I bet there was a lot of issues with Game Pass, a lot of people trying to get the games, and overall kind of fell flat. Like the hype kind of fell flat a lot, which kind of stinks, you know? And we'll see some other games too as well, like even the article itself mentions like Deathloop in the future, and they also mentioned too, they kind of forgot all about like Stalker as well. But that game once again is also getting way too close to 2023, and it's probably gonna get delayed again. There's been like, this is not like me harping on Xbox for delays or whatever it is. It just kind of seems like every single major big game company, especially with the pandemic and everything going on, is just delay after delay after delay after delay. And that's the one big struggle, is that right now we just have no major big news for the Xbox. PS5, at least we have a few things. We'll probably have a few more Sony conferences. We have a lot of indies being worked on. And of course, we just have the two mainstay games, the God of War and Horizon, which at the end of the day, I'm okay with that. You give me something, I'm down with that. But Xbox, like once again, at least we've seen gameplay. We've seen worlds. We've seen a lot of trailers for all these games like Horizon and God of War. So I can actually have a little bit of confidence that it will be coming out this year. But when it comes to Starfield, we've barely seen anything. When it comes to all these other various games like Redfall, we've not even seen gameplay from anything on this Xbox at all, and let alone all the other mid-tier games that should be in the middle. And this was kind of actually the very first big issue for the Xbox, where the very first year there was basically no exclusives. Like we had Halo to look forward to, don't get me wrong, but that also got delayed. And for the very first year, there is basically nothing. We had, I think, the Medium, and that was pretty much it for big exclusives when it came to Xbox. Now, granted, once again, Xbox Game Pass, phenomenal deal. I don't want to ever be an Xbox hater, but this kind of goes to show that we need either a Microsoft conference to kind of go and still up some hype, because we actually just saw Nintendo Direct, and they had a lot of games coming out throughout these next 3 to 5 months, like Mario Strikers, like the new Wii U, basically like Mario Resort type stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff they tied on in throughout these next few months. And then also with PlayStation, we'll probably be expecting a PlayStation conference at some point in the near future, but we have things, you know, like Horizon, you know, we have the good old games like Forza, you know, it's just good. It's like we like seeing this too as well. Like, I don't know, or Gran Turismo, sorry, I always mix those two. We always like Gran Turismo up on like the 3rd. We have like Horizon very, very soon. So at least we have games coming out on the PlayStation that are exclusives that are working out. And the Xbox, and this is not me like harping on Xbox or trying to go and like just insult Xbox. I just want them to have more exclusive games, more proper first-party games, and maybe give us a nice little conference that's not just filled with future games for Game Pass. I know they're pushing Game Pass a lot, and I mean, I think it's a great deal, but I want them to have proper first-party games that's not just literally Halo, and then we wait for the next Halo. I don't want to have them waiting for another 6 months for me to go give me maybe another Forza Part 2 or like a Forza DLC. I would love it, don't get me wrong, but I want something to look forward to. I want something to be hyped up for. And like I said, Starfield itself, huge potential, but it's probably going to get delayed. Redfall, I think already has been delayed. So all this stuff puts together, it just kind of makes me sad because we want proper good games, and that's all I'm kind of complaining about. Like, I'm not like a pro PS5 or pro Xbox person. I'm pro, I just want brand new games. And it kind of seems like you could spend $70 billion on Call of Duty. That's great. But why not spend $7 billion on first-party studios to go start building brand new IPs and building up the brand and getting people more games to play, rather than sitting there and basically being like, well, we bought Bethesda, we'll make something cool. Okay, we bought Activision, we'll make Overwatch 2 at some point. Have fun playing Hearthstone on your Xbox. So, like, I just kind of wish at this point that, like, they're making big moves. Microsoft's been making huge moves. I just wish they would focus more on the homegrown roots of making a good game, good first-party RP, or even expanding things like Fable or Gears and all that, and giving us real games to go play, besides us having maybe 2 games that everyone is just probably going to assume is going to be delayed, and that's about it. So kind of give me your thoughts and comments down below. This is not like a hate video on Xbox at all. I just want them to make more games. I want to play more games. And of course, the PlayStation is technically winning this because they actually have games coming out. You know what I mean? So people want to go buy PS5 to play PS5 games. So I don't know. Give me your thoughts and comments down below. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 digital console controller. We have the SSDs down below for your PC, PS5, whatever it is. Same with the Twitter and Twitch stream as well down below. Sign up for that Weeble, sign up for that Coinbase, and give me your thoughts and comments down below.